Okay, I think we're live now. We just do a little quick test. Yo, good afternoon. Thank you guys for stopping by. Appreciate it. Got an interesting story that was sent to me today by Gillian. I'm saying that right. Thank you so much for the story. Just do a little check here. Testing. Okay, we're good. Mad delay. What's up? Oh, and yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day. I was gonna say Patterson's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, man. Welcome. This is kind of an interesting story because of a multitude of reasons. This person seems to clearly have issues with women. And the fact that I don't know if it doesn't seem like they've always been identified as a woman. And for the past couple of decades, they identified as a man through court filings. And so at least through the court system, this identification as a woman is recent, which I find is kind of interesting because this person has claimed to have issues with women in the past. They've killed women in the past. And now that they've transitioned, the latest person that's killed. Oh, you can hear me. The latest person that's killed is an LGBTQ person, an activist, an elderly lady. Yeah, it was you. So we're going to go through this article. We're going to go through there's video, the NYPD. This was in Brooklyn. NYPD put out a video. You could see this person going through like a 99-cent store with the limb. This person was like in a wheelchair. Apparently, allegedly, it looks like they even had help because they went and purchased supplies like saws and stuff at a Home Depot with another person, but that person is cooperating with police. It's kind of a whole mess. And this person has a long criminal history, like long. He's killed multiple people, and somehow they still get out to kill another person. All right. And police say that there might be others they don't know about. It almost reminds me a little bit of the shopping cart killer. So yeah, let me take it through the article a bit. And yeah, hit like if you wouldn't mind. I'd appreciate that. Help out the stream, especially this topic. I guess it's controversial. I don't know. An 83-year-old transgender woman convicted of 2 previous murders said, I need a lawyer. Oh, we're going to watch that too. Because you see her walking out of, there was a, damn, I forgot what it was called. An arraignment. It was an arraignment. As the perp walked out on suspicion of killing and dismembering a 3rd victim. I need a lawyer. Harvey Marcelin, also known as Marcelina Harvey, said while walking past a crowd of reporters without her trademark blonde wig after being charged with murder of Susan Leyden, which a little bit later on, I'm going to get into some of her background. I found an article that had a little bit of her story. Just really unfortunate, just innocent person. But apparently too I only have like a couple tabs here, but I pulled up a bunch of different things. Apparently they knew of each other. And we'll get into that in a minute, but it's not exactly sure how, like what kind of relationship. It's not clear. And they Harvey befriended this lady over social media 2 years ago, according to WHSV. And was last seen alive February 27th, walking. Oh, Leyden was reportedly last seen alive walking into Harvey's apartment. So they knew of each other. It wasn't like random. Okay. She made the remark as reporters and photographers outside the Brooklyn cop shop shouted questions at her, but did not say anything else as she was bundled into a cruiser and driven away. Marcelin was heading to Brooklyn Criminal Court for her arraignment over the murder of Susan Leyden, 68. The convicted killer said to have been caught on camera sitting on Leyden's leg while riding a motorized wheelchair, and it is unclear if she has since been assigned a public defender for her latest case. So these are some of the current pictures. We're going to watch videos in a second, but normally has a wig. And I was also wondering too, I don't know. Yeah, 83, right? Isn't that crazy? I don't know if the transition thing, I was like thinking of multiple things. Like, is it one of those things where you kind of become what you hate? Like over the years, this person's killed women, live-in girlfriends, Did this person have issues with the mother? There is talk of psychological issues as well, which we'll get into a bit. Or was this a ploy to get like easy sentence, or not easy sentencing, but to be put in prison in a safer area? Because I looked up Rikers Island, and Rikers Island, it does, well, shoot, let me look it up, bro. I had it over here open. Is Rikers male only? Taylor houses sentence male adolescents and adults. Davern primarily houses male inmates who are ages 18 through 21. But there was a section here. Are there female prisoners in Rikers? Carol is one of about 100 women and trans people who have been transferred from Rikers women's wing to Bedford Hills so far. So I guess there's like a small wing. Maybe the people from New York or somebody in the chat that knows can give me like a specific number. But it seems like there's a small section. And so I would assume, maybe, I don't know if that section's safer. Maybe it's more quieter. Maybe you don't have to worry about somebody, you know, doing something to you. So I was wondering, I don't know, is that a ploy with it too? Now, let me see what else we got here. We're going to watch all these videos in a second. I mean, how creepy is that? Like just going around with a limb, a human leg, motorized, just going shopping, right? This is with the wig. And this is Susan right here. We'll talk about her in a second.
Harvey, look up, Harvey. Harvey, look at me, Harvey.
I need a lawyer. I need a lawyer.
Look at
You
me,
need a
Harvey.
lawyer?
Look at me. Tell me your name, Harvey. Look at
I
me.
need a lawyer.
Look at me, Harvey.
Oh boy.
Look this way, Harvey. Sorry.
So just walking out screaming, I need a lawyer, I need a lawyer. Okay, so let's talk about some of the previous convictions before we get to the videos. It says previously convicted of 2 other killings in 1963 and 1984. Marcelina was arrested last week for Leyden's death after she was allegedly caught on surveillance cameras dumping a body near Cypress Hills apartment. Leyden's headless torso was stuffed into a garbage bag and dumped in a shopping cart in Brooklyn. So she was last seen, I think, February 20 something, right? And then now on March 2nd, a passerby made a grisly discovery on Pennsylvania Avenue and Atlantic Avenues in the borough of around 1:45 a.m. when he peeked inside a garbage bag. On Friday, NYPD held a press conference where they showed a video of Marcelina sitting on a severed human leg in a store surveillance footage. Marcelina is seen getting out of the wheelchair, exposing the leg and sitting back down. This is a gruesome and barbaric homicide which resulted in a headless torso being disposed of on a New York City corner, and it takes a serial killer off our streets, Brooklyn District Attorney Eric said. This is the latest of a list of heinous offenses conducted over a period of a lifetime by Miss Harvey, and we can only hope that she can do no more. And I was thinking when I heard this too, we can only hope. I'm like, hope? Like by this time, you guys need to lock her up and keep her locked up. You know what I'm saying? Like you can only hope. But the other thing I was thinking about too, I was like, okay, so you transition and now you identify as a woman. Are you going to start? Well, it's mostly a man prison though, Rikers. But I was like, is this person going to start targeting other women or people that identify as women because this person killed now an LGBT activist? Though I don't know if this has anything to do with the killing, the activism. Maybe there was something personal because apparently they knew of each other, but it's kind of ironic. There's a lot of ironies in this too, because you've been killing women like all your life and now you transition to a woman, right? Like what's up with that? But I wonder, like, you know, I don't know. What was child life like growing up? So according to the NYPD's investigation, Leyden, an LGBTQ activist who lived in a city shelter, was seen alive on February 27 as she entered Marcelina's apartment at the 50 Pennsylvania Avenue at 50 Pennsylvania Avenue carrying a multicolored bag with a flower decal and rolling a shopping cart. 2 days later, Marcelin and another woman, they never named this woman, at least that I could see, were spotted leaving the building with the same bag as they headed to a Home Depot in Manhattan to purchase saws, trash bags, and cleaning solutions. On March 2nd, surveillance footage caught Marcelin walking out the apartment again with a shopping cart and a trash bag inside the cart, leaving it out in the streets. Police said the female corpse was found inside a bag without a head or limbs and did not appear to be decomposed. I wonder how it wouldn't be decomposed, because maybe, I don't know, how long does it take to decompose? It depends on the conditions, right? From February 27 to March, February is a short month, right? So maybe it's possible, yeah. On March 3rd, police found blood and trash bags in the apartment complex, and a search warrant into Marcelin's home turned up a human head, along with the saws Marcelin bought. On March 7, a severed leg, which had been cut from the knee down and was still wearing a sock, was poking out of a discarded tire 4 blocks away. So it's like the body parts are in different places. It seems like some in the apartment, some in the street corners, trash bags, and a discarded tire. Gonzalez added that the woman who went to Home Depot was cooperating with police, but did not say if she faced any charges in connection with the murder. Who knows? They might need her to prosecute this person. Marcelin was charged with murder, criminal tampering of evidence, and concealment of a human corpse. Marcelin is being represented by a legal aid who did not immediately return Daily Mail's comments for Daily Mail's comments. This is Susan here. The trash bag. It's incredible that this person at 83 still killing people, right? Let's see. The leg was found on Jamaica Avenue in Cypress Hills, Brooklyn, Monday. And torso found in a grocery store cart near intersection of Pennsylvania and Atlantic. The murder of Leyden is the third killing Marcelin has been connected to. On April 18th, 1963, Marcelin was arrested for shooting her then girlfriend, Jacqueline Bonds, 3 times inside of their Harlem apartment. Earlier that year, she was arrested for illegal gambling and attempted rape. The rape case was dropped when the victim didn't show up to court. So this person I'm talking has like a long ass history. Then for the murder of Bonds, Marcelin was sentenced to 20 years to life and was paroled in 1984, according to state prison records. While in prison, Marcelin had allegedly filed court papers saying she was in the notorious 1971 Attica prison riot, which left 21 inmates and 10 hostages dead. Marcelin was not among the inmates awarded a payout settlement in a class action lawsuit following the riot. After being released in 1984, she went on to fatally stab another girlfriend, Ana Laura Serrera Miranda, cutting her up and stuffing her body into a bag before dumping it on the streets of Central Park. Marcelin was arrested in 1986 and convicted of manslaughter. A psychiatric review concluded that she had schizoid personality with psychopathic features, but was not deemed criminally insane. Marcelina had applied for parole multiple times, and during one of those hearings, she had said she had a problem with women. She also blamed all the female parole board for denying her release in 1997, a claim a 3-judge panel in Albany rejected, according to court records. That's what I'm saying. Like, it seems clearly like this person has an issue with women. And I wonder where exactly it all stems from, right? In 2001, Marcelina also faced a disciplinary hearing for having oral with another inmate, but faced no punishment, according to Daily News. She was released from Cayuga Correctional Facility in upstate New York in 2019. Marcelina is currently in custody and being held without bail in Rikers Island, or at Rikers Island. And they're still investigating this. The incident comes as the city continues to see drastic spikes in violent crime compared to last year. Crime everywhere. So we're going to get to the videos in a second here, but I wanted to add a couple of notes here on the side with regarding this. I covered that. Okay. Oh, okay, I got that. The other little tidbit, but I guess I don't know. But when they executed the search warrant, they found a human head inside Marcelin's apartment, along with saw blades. Police sources told NBC New York that tarot cards were found laid out on a table inside the apartment. Okay, so let's check out some of these clips. So this is the motorized scooter. You see her right here, like getting up. And like I guess right here is the limb. Comes sits back down, just traveling around with it. The other thing is I wanted to show you this clip that Jillian sent me. This kind of goes through the timeline of events that we just read, but it kind of gives a little bit of some images and stuff. So I kind of like that as well. Check that out.
Brooklyn. Police tell us what appears to be a leg. A murder mystery, the search for the person who mutilated a woman in Brooklyn. Police tell us what appears to be a leg was found wrapped up in Cypress Hills on Jamaica Avenue near Vermont Street. Tonight, a two-time convicted killer charged with murder.
Let me see something to this. Vermont Street. Let me just real quick because I wanted. I know where the woman lived. The other one, Susan, but I just wanted to type the intersection of this real quick. Vermont Street for this other address and Jamaica Avenue. Oh, that show's kind of far to me. I don't know.
Jamaica Avenue near Vermont Street. On Jamaica Avenue in Brooklyn. Police tell us what appears to be a leg was found wrapped up in Cypress Hills on Jamaica Avenue near Vermont Street. Tonight, a two-time convicted killer charged with murdering again.
This is a gruesome and barbaric homicide which resulted in a headless torso being disposed of on a New York City corner, and it takes a serial killer off our street. So I'd like to draw your attention to February 27th at approximately 11:40 hours. We observed our victim enter 50 Pennsylvania Avenue with the same shopping cart she was later found dead inside. She is later identified as Susan Leyden, female, white, 68 years old. She resides at a senior home for the LGBTQ plus community in Fort Greene. According to persons known to us, she has lived there for 8 months and is an activist and supporter.
Okay, yeah, this is where Susan lives. The Stonewall House.
Of these causes.
I love this place, and it's so heartbreaking to hear this kind of news.
On March 1st, our perpetrator, Miss Harvey, and another unknown female enter Home Depot in Manhattan. They purchase a Sawzall, trash bags, and cleaning solutions, and both individuals return to Pennsylvania Avenue. The next day, Miss Harvey is observed walking to the intersection of Atlantic and Pennsylvania, leaving our shopping cart behind. Approximately 6 hours later, a male observes the cart and calls 911. Upon arrival, they observed a black plastic bag inside a gray bag in a shopping cart. Inside that black bag was the torso of a human body. On March 3rd in the early afternoon, detectives arrive at 50 Pennsylvania Avenue and receive information our person of interest is on the 3rd floor. In apartment 3DD, they observed blood splatter and several trash bags. The next day, March 4th, detectives executed the search warrant at that location where we recover human body parts inside. On March 7th,
I believe it's actually both. I think it's like I pulled it up here. I believe it's an LGBTQ friendly home, but it's for like elderly though. That's what I believe I read. I'll see if I can double check that.
Human leg is recovered on Jamaica Avenue. I'd like to show you the video of Miss Harvey in a store. She gets up out of the wheelchair there and the leg is right there on the seat.
The same type of plastic bag that we recovered at the scene, and as you saw in the video, it was behind the lower back, riding around the 99-cent store. So yes, she had it with her.
Investigation into this incident led detectives from the 7-5 Precinct and Brooklyn North Homicide to gather evidence which led to a grand jury indictment of a Harvey Marcelin, aka Marcelina Harvey, who was on lifetime parole for manslaughter and whom resides at 50 Pennsylvania Avenue, apartment 3D. Her record includes 5 previous arrests: in September 1957 for a felony assault, in May of 1962 for booking, in March of 63 for a rape.
I mean, there's stuff here that I didn't even mention.
In April of 63 for a homicide up in Harlem where shot and killed a female. For this offense, she received a sentence of 20 years to life and was released in May of 1984 to lifetime parole. And the final arrest in November of 85 in Central Park, a homicide where the victim was stabbed and cut up and the female dumped in body bags. I just want to draw your attention to our old Detective Bureau logs that we keep up in the Bureau. And if you look at the notes on the side, all the way over to the right, it says cut up to pieces. This is just the latest of a list of heinous offenses conducted over a period of a lifetime by Miss Harvey, and we can only hope that she can do no more.
And they're saying here too, twice convicted of killings before, which we know, Marcelin spent more than 50 years in state prison on murder and manslaughter convictions dating back to 1963. So that is crazy. And they're saying there could be more murders. Let's see, this one had the lady talking. All right. So this is from heavy.com. And this says here, way back in 1962, a doctor found Marcelin was a schizoid person with poor impulse control. A U.S. Court of Appeals case in 1963 discussed Marcelin's psychiatric hospitalization. The 1960s era court records used male pronouns. Marcelin, petitioner's admission to Bellevue on April 9, 1962 was voluntary. He was discharged in the custody of his wife on April 16. After 1 week of hospitalization, the examining psychiatric found that with medication, petitioner had done very well. He also found that petitioner was not psychotic. The hospital record does contain the phrases delusional, grandiosity, suggestions of chronic schizophrenia, and a paranoid reaction personality. Dr. George Hamilton Wilk, a psychiatrist, testified that a possibility of insanity can be entertained. But the doctor felt that Marcelin was not mentally incompetent to stand trial, but was a schizoid person with poor impulse control and suspicious ideation. Marcelin's record go back to the 1950s. Damn. According to Fox 5 New York, Marcelin's first homicide victim was Jacqueline Bonds, who was shot to death in a Harlem apartment in 1963. Bond ran into a bedroom where Marcelin shot her again. Bonds then staggered into the living room, collapsed, and died. 3 bullet wounds were found in her body. Police described the death as an April 1963 homicide up in Harlem, where Marcelin shot and killed female. She received 20 years, a 20-year life sentence, and was released on lifetime parole in 1984. And then this was the other murder where she stabbed and cut up the person and dumped them in body bags. So she committed another murder a year later in Central Park, 1985. Police said, saying the victim was stabbed and cut up and dumped in body bags. Police said that old detectives' bureau logs referred to the victim as having been cut up to pieces. Marcelin pleaded guilty to manslaughter, receiving a 6 to 12 year sentence, was paroled again in August 2019. Police said in the news conference, Fox reported that in that death, Marcelin stabbed a girlfriend to death in Central Park and then put her body in a trash bag. Oh, okay. And this was a news clip too that I wanted to show.
Over the last few days, police made one gruesome discovery after another. First, a woman's torso was found in a multicolored bag in a shopping cart here on Pennsylvania Avenue in East New York. Then a few days later, just a few blocks away on Jamaica Avenue, a woman's leg was found. Police are now saying this was the work of a serial killer. Surveillance video led police to this apartment building where they saw a woman carrying that same multicolored bag going in the building. Sources tell Pix 11 News 83-year-old Harvey Marcelin, a transgender woman, was the person seen on the video. So police obtained a warrant for her apartment. Court documents show they found a woman's head and electrical saws inside Marcelin's apartment. Whitney Wade works at the building where Marcelin lives.
Honestly, I was shocked because he is pretty pleasant.
While residents here are...
It's she. I'm just kidding. I mean, I don't know if he was at the time dressing or not. Sometimes you don't know. I wonder when the transition thing started and how long has that been,
where Marcelin lives.
Honestly, I was shocked because he is pretty pleasant.
While residents here are trying to grasp what police found inside an apartment, we're learning more about Marcelin, who spent more than 50 years in prison for killing two different women, ex-girlfriends. First in 1963, in that case, Marcelin received 20 years to life in prison. After being released on lifetime parole, Marcelin was convicted again in 1986 for manslaughter. This time, the victim's body was found in a bag near Central Park. In 2019, Marcelin was released from prison. For now, she's accused of concealing a corpse. Sources say more charges may come. Did you see anything or notice anything suspicious?
Not at all. Caught us all off guard.
Back at Marcelin's building, where police are getting more clues, this woman is just moving in, and she's now questioning that decision.
They got people moving in here with something that happened like that. People have kids that's moving in here. Like, this has got me. I really want to turn around and go somewhere else now.
Yeah, it's happening everywhere though. You can't escape all this heinous stuff that's going on. Let me just get the super chats real quick. Brandy, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, finally made a live stream. Oh, I hope you're doing well. Prayers. I'm sorry for all the insanity that you're going through back to back. But I hope you're doing okay and hanging in there. Carly Jean, thank you for being a member. And 4 months says, hey Mel and followers, viewers, don't forget to show your love and smash the like button on your way in. Yeah, please, if you guys could hit like. This is, I'm sure, just the title alone. YouTube probably doesn't like this. I'm also streaming on Facebook, just giving it a try. But doesn't seem, there's a couple people there, but not much. But yeah, please hit like. That really helps out. Also, let me see what else. Oh, and thank you, Peace Poppy, for the stars on Facebook. Appreciate that. Lee said, thank you for the super chat. Did he/she transform in jail? Who paid for the reassignment? Just curious. Regards from Berlin. Thank you. I have no idea. So like, in case maybe you came in later, what I thought was interesting about this was that it says, though identified as a man in court filings in past decades, Marcelin was booked as a woman this time, police spokesman said. Acquaintances told reporters that Marcelin identified in recent years as a woman. Okay. And I don't know, maybe they didn't identify as that before because maybe you just couldn't. I don't know. Or maybe this is a thing that just happened recently, but I think it is kind of curious, and I don't know the psychology and all that stuff behind that. Curious that it's apparently this person hates women, and years later, I don't know, maybe that's trauma, maybe to deal with whatever. Then years later, you transition to a woman. Woman got it coming from all ways, right? And this is too, there were some neighbors. I would love to hear some more commentary from neighbors, just like thoughts and whatever. But according to a court decision into Marcelin's bid for parole in 1997, Marcelin admitted to having problems with women. Marcelin spent more than 50 years of her life in prison. Leyden was the most recent victim, 68-year-old woman living in an LGBTQ shelter. Police said in the news conference, they said that Leyden was an activist in those areas. And that's another ironic thing that I thought. It's like, okay, so now you transition and then now you kill somebody that's, you know, supports and advocates your transition and the things that you've gone through. You kill somebody that's doing that, you know? That's what I'm wondering. Like, do you really, is this a real thing? Or maybe it is if they'd done it a couple of years ago. Or was it to get closer to women? I don't know, man. Could be anything, right? A little bit into Leyden, to the latest victim, 68-year-old. I found this article from the NY Post that had a little bit of her information. Let's read here. Boom, 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 boom. So it says here, which is kind of interesting too, Leyden grew up in a conservative Jewish upper middle class family in Teaneck, New Jersey, where she tap danced, took ballet, rode horses, and graduated from Teaneck High School in 1972. She was so cool. She was so pretty with her long blonde hair and boots, wrote childhood chum Karen Leyden Gross in a Facebook memorial. I wonder if I can find that. A picture of Leyden posted to the forum shows an attractive young woman with blonde hair and porcelain skin wearing oversized sunglasses and a low-cut bikini top. Another image shows an older Leyden with her daughter Nicole, now 36, at the Rockefeller Center skating rink. Her life began to unravel when she lost her father and all three siblings in rapid order while in her 20s. Her now deceased mother lived 1,000 miles away in Florida. It always comes back to Florida. Her 16-year marriage ended in divorce in 1992, and she has long been estranged from her only child, her friend told the Post. She had no family. She was alone. She did manage to run her own business, Jewels and More, in Fort Lee, New Jersey, for many years before closing the shop and losing touch with most of her old friends. There's like a more recent image. According to a friend, Leyden was isolated from her family and friends before her death. Leyden was most recently at Stonewall House, an LGBTQ or whatever friendly elderly housing development in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. So it's both of them. It's LGBTQ friendly, and it's also an elderly housing development. In the other article, it categorized it as a shelter, you know, in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, New York, where questions remain about her grisly death. I don't know what to think. It's tragic. It's sad, a building resident said. I don't think Marcelin should have been out of prison. She wasn't rehabilitated. She shouldn't have been out. And she goes out to kill like that. And this is like a thing. This is like a thing where we just keep hearing this all the time. People with long criminal histories just keep getting out or somehow slipping through the system and coming back out to kill again. You know? I think that was kind of it. Yeah, I'll check out what you guys are saying in the comments. But yeah, I came across that today. I was like, oh, this is weird and interesting. Oh, let me show you the map real quick too, because I was able to pull up. It's further than I thought, but let me see. So this is the Stonewall House. Okay. And then this is 50 Pennsylvania Avenue. About 30 minutes away by car. How do I go to Street View? That's where you see on the news right here. 50 Penn. So this is where Harvey lived. And then Susan lived in the other building. Trying to navigate that, I lost it. Did you miss a lot? Yeah, kind of the whole stream, but this has been a short stream. You can rewind it, catch all the information. Started pretty quick. She was in a she was in a wheelchair. I really wonder what the friend. Yeah, the friend. You see her going to Home Depot. They're buying supplies. They have the same bag that Susan had. What kind of help did they have, and also what kind of relationship? What went sour? Why kill this person? Police say the two knew of each other, but the extent of their relationship isn't clear. What is clear is that Marcelin was captured on video riding a motorized scooter. Police believe Harvey befriended Leyden 2 years ago via social media. Leyden was reportedly last seen alive February 27th, walking into Harvey's apartment. Oh, I didn't know that. Is that true, Samantha? I have to check that out. Yeah, I wonder what this person's childhood was like. Let me see if there's anything else I can skim up real quick on Harvey. I mean, I guess it's too late for Harvey, but I was like, how many lives can you ruin, right? Like, how many people can you kill? I was also curious to see if there was any, like, what are Harvey's friends? None of them noticed anything? Let's see here real quick and see. It's kind of the dangerous thing too, right? Like I don't know, you're isolating yourself. Maybe you're going through things in life, and I gotta fix that sound thing. And you're lonely, and you're feeling depressed, and all this stuff. And so, you know, who knows? You go, social media is an avenue, and you can end up meeting the wrong person, dangerous people, cost you your life. Videos. And there's not really much out on this story. As far as coverage, just came out a couple days ago. Harvey Marcelin. Yep. That's crazy. Yeah, 83. But yeah, I guess anyway, thank you guys for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. If there's any updates on this, we'll come back and follow. If you have, oh, did I get out everything? Oh, no, there's a couple things too. Thank you. I just want to say real quick, thank you, Candace, previously for the super chat. Cash App. Thank you, JLA, Carolyn. Also, there was something else. Also, thank you to Anne, Catherine, and Stacy for the merch purchases. I gotta add more stuff on there. I haven't added nothing on there. I have this whole, I want to make sure the stuff is good. And I want to try every product, so I don't want to just throw a bunch of things up there without having tried every single thing. There's another thing too I want to say real quick. You get this in while I can. Oh, okay, Lindsay. I'm saying what's up to Kimberly, aka Kiki. Kiki, are you out there? How you doing? Hi. Kiki. This is the third time we're trying to do that. I keep missing your message. I'm sorry. Kimberly, what's up, man? How you doing? Thank you for watching. Kiki, are you lying? Oh, there's something else I can show you guys too. Let me show you this. Oh my God, Sylvia sent me a crazy ass message. Let me show you this crazy thing from Miami too. Hold on a second. No te vaya todavía.
Now to a story you will only see.
Like 100 things going on here. Okay, send the text.
On Local 10 News, a Miami Beach police officer is off the...
And are you guys doing anything tonight? Are you guys doing anything for St. Patrick's Day? You guys going out to party, drink, or are you just going to stay home, watch TV? What you doing?
Force after sending inappropriate messages to a teenager. Local 10's Rushlow has obtained the internal affairs report for
So this is here in Miami, a police officer. All right.
this case.
Oh, no. Come on, man. Y'all tripping with that shit.
Colleagues say this is former Miami Beach police
Bruh.
officer Louis Leger dancing in uniform.
Come on with the music.
He resigned after the department said he sent inappropriate texts to a juvenile female asking, among other things, if she's a virgin. The Miami Beach police chief, Richard Clemens, says if he didn't resign, he would have been fired. Quote, Mr. Leger's actions are not acceptable, nor do they reflect the standard of excellence continuously set forth.
Come on, protect and serve. Of course, they're not all like that, but you got to watch these people in these positions of power, or even daycares, or people that take care of kids, schools, teachers. I remember a couple of times on the live streams we pulled up to all these teachers every other week or every month or whatever. It's like these teachers are, you see articles of teachers doing something to the kids in Miami.
By the hard-working men and women of the Miami Beach Police Department. So according to the IA report, this juvenile female, she's walking her dog. Officer Leger is jogging along. They stop, they engage in some trivial conversation, and I'm quoting here, Leger says, according to the IA report, I'm a cop, so you don't have to worry about me being a creep or anything. In Officer Leger's internal affairs...
You can trust me. I'm a cop. Okay, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry, your post. Okay, says my son's 29th B-day and 34th anniversary of my mom's death. Okay. Happy birthday to your son. That's weird. Oh, so it's on this... Damn, man, on the same day. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
There's interview. He is asked, question. Okay, all right. Did you ask the juvenile, are you into older? He answers yes, because she could probably speak to older people. The investigator goes on to ask, but why would you ask if she's a virgin? He answers, it was just a question. And the fact that I...
Because you was sick?
Asked, that probably one of the, I guess you could say, the biggest mistakes I did. We went to the Leger's apartment. No one answered. Leger was not criminally charged.
It's like he was Johnny Cash and walked the line. He didn't cross it. Certainly.
Oh, so he wasn't even charged. So I guess what, he's just losing his job?
It was inappropriate behavior. But the issue is he did not solicit her for sex specifically.
So a couple of things here. First off, the officer says in the report he thought that this girl was 19 or 20. And I want to highlight how serious the chief of police here took this case. You saw there in his statement, he says, if this guy didn't resign, he would have been gone, fired anyway. We're live outside the Miami Beach Police Department. I'm
on to go to a different department, right? Probably, I don't know. Okay. I want to say thank you to Jennifer, Sandra, twice. Thank you, Sandra, for the PayPals too. Appreciate that. And Anna. There was another crazy story too. You want to check it out real quick? Another crazy Miami story Silvio sent me. Let me do this. Okay. Some of you might get a laugh out of this, but let me see. Oh man, there's a couple of two other stories we can chill real quick and listen to these. I want to hear some of the insanity that's going on.
Get the out.
Yes. Yes, we want to see the crazy. My friend sent me this, right, Silvio, and he said, Mel, is that you?
Disgusting.
Off the top at 6, a shocking and just sickening sight on South Beach. A man caught on camera touching himself inside a busy Starbucks. And that suspect led cops on a chase before being taken down.
And as you're about to see, that was only the beginning of this bizarre behavior. Local 10 crime specialist Bridget Matter is in Miami Beach with this safety alert.
That's true, Nosy. Everywhere you go, you're going to find corrupt or evil or disgusting people.
We spoke to the woman who took this video. She says this went on for 10 minutes and she was in disbelief.
Bruh.
It all happened inside this Miami Beach
10 minutes.
Starbucks. Not long after, police arrested this guy. The man in this video was arrested for lewd and lascivious behavior inside a Miami Beach Starbucks.
What are you doing?
A customer records as employees who may not be aware continue calling for orders.
Get the out. It's disgusting.
Yo, if you walked into Starbucks and that was going on, would you say anything? Would you just ignore it and continue to order your coffee or frappuccino or whatever it's called? What would you do if you walked in and you see this? Or would you just walk right back out?
We spoke to the woman behind the camera, Alyssa Demaria. She said this went on for at least 10 minutes.
This is so gross. Get out of here.
Demaria says someone else called 911.
I don't want to ever go back. And it's just, it'll always be in the back of my head.
Video shows police trying to take 27-year-old
and he's fighting.
Blake Rain into custody.
Sit the down!
The police report says Rain ran from police. He's combative while police tase him. The suspect appeared in bond court. Rain was argumentative with the judge and tells the judge he works on the beach.
If you don't stop, I'm going to mute you and you will not be able to speak.
Because usually they're not supposed to talk here because they say anything you say can and will be used against you. And so most of the time you're not really supposed to say anything. You just whatever. I guess this guy's arguing back. I would like to hear this whole thing. It's usually not that long. It's pretty short. And I usually like to watch Mindy. Mindy's pretty badass, but.
Speak for the rest of this hearing. Do you understand me?
And there was a lot of back and forth during that bond court hearing. We did reach out to Starbucks corporate to get a statement from them, but we likely won't hear from them until business hours tomorrow. So we'll be checking up with them, following up with them sometime.
I kind of want to see the bond hearing. I don't know if I'd be able to find it in time, but. What's his name? Okay, let's start out with that, right? Blake Rain. Okay. All right. Blake Rain. Let me just see real quick quick search. I'm just curious of their engagement. Nah. Well. Oh. No. Wait. This is from 2021, though. That can't be it. Okay. Some people are smart. They change things. Let me try it on YouTube search. They change titles and descriptions so to the current news, so that when you go search it, it pulls up as that. No, I don't see it. Okay. Oh, don't worry about it now. There was another story. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that I heard about. I never looked at. Let's look at these two other ones. Quick stories. Oh, and there was that whole thing yesterday too. You guys see that the Polk County what's that legend's name? Polk County how can I forget the guy's name? Oh my God, somebody help me. Polk County. The 4 Disney employees arrested in Polk County for human trafficking. We could watch that too. Let me show you this shorter clip. but we could watch the other one too if you haven't seen it. And this was some sort of pastor. These are all Florida stories.
Brady starts right now with a breaking news alert.
A local breaking news alert. Police say they've uncovered sexual and physical abuse of
Hayes, I'm glad you got to know me. Yeah, we're still here. I said bye like 20 minutes ago.
children at a local church dating back more than 30 years. The
30 years?
Pastor and 2 other men have been arrested. Jacksonville police say there may be victims detectives don't know about, and they're asking anyone with information to come forward.
They tell us the abuse went on at Jacksonville Assembly of the Body of Christ Church on Old Kings Road. Sky 4 flew over the church just within the past 45 minutes. News4Jax reporter Marilyn Parker is joining us live from downtown with a look at who all was involved in this investigation. Marilyn?
So within the last hour, we found out that the FBI was involved in this investigation. We know that the case has gone out of state with those 2 arrests of the men in Oklahoma. They were charged with capital sexual battery. Now, during Dial's first appearance here at J1, the judge said with this capital charge, he could be sentenced to life in prison. These 3 men are charged with 1 count of capital sexual battery. It stemmed from a tip the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office got in 2020 of sexual abuse inside the Jacksonville Assembly of the Body of Christ Church. One of the men arrested, 78-year-old Paul Dial, is the church pastor.
It's 1 count capital sexual battery.
Police say the survivor was 11 years old or younger, and JSO believes there are more than a dozen victims. We're protecting the identity of a woman we spoke to who says Dial sexually assaulted her.
This was not something that was a one-time occurrence. This happened to me several times over a period of 5 to 6 years.
Attorney Cynthia Crawford is representing several of the victims in this case.
So this is a very, very big case. The victims talk of being shuttled to different churches in different states and being passed around. So this is a very, very sad.
Passed around and shuttled to different states. So how many other people are involved? What the hell is this? Like a sex ring or something?
Situation, and we hope that it will end.
Crawford says she's been working with the victims for about 5 years now. All of them were members of the church. They're both men and women, and some of them were 5 years old up to their teenage years.
And I hope that the state attorney's office comes at them with the full force of the law and gets them on sexual battery.
Police say the men arrested in Oklahoma will be extradited here. A survivor told us she knew one day all of this would come out. How did you feel?
Relieved, kind of, a little more closure.
She says along with Dial's arrest, she wants people to know what happened at this church. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says they worked with the U.S. Marshals, DCF, and the state attorney's office. Police also say they believe there are more witnesses and survivors in this case. So if you have any information, reach out to JSO or call Crime Stoppers where you can remain anonymous. We're live at JSO tonight.
And I saw somebody in the chat just mentioning to make sure I want to get his name. Solo MCFC said, did anyone hear about a camel that escaped a petting zoo and killed 2 people? I looked it up because I'm like, nah. And it's for real. At least according to this one article that I can see. That's kind of a weird article.
News 4.
Oops. Camel kills 2 men after escaping Tennessee petting zoo. Sheriff's deputies destroyed the animal. What? Destroyed the animal after finding 2 unconscious victims. Is this a real article? The Guardian? The Albanian Sheriff's Office said the camel attacked one of their vehicles and moved towards the deputies who were attempting to move a victim. A camel killed 2 men after escaping the petting zoo. Officials from the Albion County Sheriff's Office said that fatal incident unfolded around 5:44 p.m. on Thursday when they received a call of a loose camel near Shirley Farm on South Bluff Road in Albion, attacking people. When deputies arrived at the farm, approximately 100 miles from Memphis, they found 2 unconscious victims on the ground and a camel still on the loose. The Sheriff's Department and other public safety agencies, including the Tennessee Highway Patrol, Lake County Sheriff's Office, yada yada, tried to aid the victims to bring them to a safe location. The animal remained aggressive. I didn't know camels were like that. They can get like that? I thought they were always like peaceful, kind of like just chilling. It seems like not only people are going crazy, but the animals are going crazy too. So the animal remained aggressive. Albion authorities said the camel attacked Albion County Sheriff's Office vehicle, then moved towards deputies who were attempting to move a victim. Wow. It was at this time that officers had put the camel down for the safety of everyone on scene. The statement said the 2 victims, identified as Bobby Matheny and Tommy Gunn, did succumb to their injuries. Holy crap. Inspectors from the U.S. Department of Agriculture had noted alleged animal care and regulatory issues at the petting zoo. July 2019, inspectors said the only access to drinking water for the camels and zebra was a very small, shallow, muddy creek running through their enclosure. There was no access to any water throughs or potable water source. In October 2018, the inspector said the public, adults, and children were petting and feeding animals without any employee/attendant present. Inspector also said the barrier present between the public and the non-human primates, but not for any. There is a barrier between the public and the non-human primates, but not for any other species present, including zebra, camels, llamas, alpacas, goats, sheep, pigs, fallow deer, kangaroo, zebu, rabbits, cavi, and prairie dogs. The only attendant noted present at the exhibit was a cashier. Damn, they're just letting that place run wild. Who doesn't have any direct line of sight of any animals. Now that's interesting. Okay, let's watch this other one, and then if you guys want to watch Sheriff
Jay, thanks. Now to a develop
about the Disney employees, which Disney I think staged like a walkout recently. You guys heard about that? They're staging a walkout because they're upset about. Maybe I shouldn't even go. I'm already. I feel like every other live stream we're hitting the check mark for like the controversial, like all the other things that can piss people off. But they walked out because of something. Let me see. Disney, was it like the gay bill? Are they calling it the gay bill? Disney gay bill walkout something? Okay. Disney workers plan walkout to protest Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. How does that work out? I don't even. Disney workers are planning walkouts during their breaks every day this week to protest CEO Bob Chapek's slow response and publicly criticizing Florida legislation that critics have dubbed Don't Say Gay bill. The act of the protest will accumulate the next Tuesday with a general walkout by LGBTQ workers and their supporters at Disney work sites in California, Florida, and elsewhere, the group of Disney employees said this week on their website. So they're doing this massive protest. Statements by Disney leadership over the Florida legislation say have utterly failed to match the magnitude of the threat to the LGBTQIA plus safety represented by this legislation. The bill bars instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity in kindergarten through grade 3. I don't think that's bad. Kindergarten through grade 3. The bill bars instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity. I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like at that age, kindergarten to 3, can't we just leave sex out of it? I don't. Maybe there's more to the bill. I don't know. This is just one article that I'm looking at from pbs.org. Let me see what else it says. Republican lawmakers pushing the legislation had argued that parents, not teachers, should be the ones talking to their children about gender issues during their early formative years. The legislation has attracted scrutiny from President Joe Biden, who called it hateful, as well as other Democrats who argue it demonizes LGBTQ people. The legislation has been sent to Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who is expected to sign it. Okay, so this is the whole big thing. In case you haven't heard it, I've heard a little bit of it. It hasn't been my focus. It's like But I've heard rumblings about this and Disney, and I thought the CEO guy came out and did a video. Disney CEO. You do some sort of video or no? He apologized. Okay, Disney CEO Bob Chapek apologizes to the LGBTQ employees, announces pause for political donations. All right, so he apologized. In Florida. Okay. Oh, so he sent out an email to the company and then people got upset about that. So I guess they wanted him to say something. Okay. Let me do this and then we'll check out the Disney story. No bill needed. Let me see what you guys are saying first. I'm kind of curious. You guys, we have a really mixed audience, so I figure. But me personally, I don't think it's necessary for kids either. I mean, I'm not even sure why you would have that conversation at that age. But yeah, let's watch that. Priera says, "Did you hear about the 4 Disney employees arrested in Polk County human trafficking?" Yeah, let's watch that next. I'm gonna play this clip real quick about the school shooter or somebody that had a kill list that was planning to go to school and shoot people up. But yeah, I did hear about that Disney thing. Yeah, I have no issues either. I just don't think at that age, I think it really should be up to the parents and teachers. I just don't know why that would be something in kindergarten. Like, we have to go through that in kindergarten. But I understand, I can somewhat understand too that you don't want kids being nasty and treating other kids like crap because of whatever, or their beliefs and stuff like that. But I just think at that age, like kindergarten, come on. Do you guys remember that video, the sex video, the instructional video for kids, like little kids? What grade was it? I'm not gonna even play the video because that video was like age restricted. YouTube actually age restricted that. There was some school that had an instructional video for, I forgot what ages. I thought it was like 5 or 6, and how to like do toys and all that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna play it, but oh, I just typed the wrong thing. A bunch of porn websites came out. I tried sex instructional video. Kids. I probably don't even want that in my search history, right? I don't know. There was something that I remember caused a big ruckus.
Story out of St. Lucie County, a story any family with children will want to hear. A teenager's under arrest after detectives say she had a list of fellow students she wanted to kill.
WPTV News Channel 5's Joel Lopez. He's live outside Westgate K-8 school tonight with what parents need to know. Joel.
That's right, Shannon. An anonymous tip led staff members to contact the sheriff's deputies on Tuesday, and after investigating that teen's phone, they found a list labeled Kill List with 8 students' names on it. That's when they arrested a 14-year-old student who we are not naming because they are a minor.
BL says children with same-gender parents will feel there's something wrong with their family dynamics if that bill passes. Maybe they feel... is that all the bill is, or is there more to that bill? That's what I'm wondering.
Deputies say they did search the teen's home and didn't find any weapons, but they did find cocaine, drug paraphernalia, and what they describe as deplorable living conditions. So that led to the arrest of the teen's mother. The teen now...
So the mother got arrested too?
Now faces 8 counts of written threats to kill, and her mother is on a
like the Crumleys.
$6,250 bond. Now, deputies say that they have contacted the parents of the students who were on that list, but overall, this serves as a reminder for any...
Yo, imagine you being on a list, a kill list, or if your kid is on a kill list.
Student that any threat does come with consequences. Reporting live in St. Lucie County, Joel Lopez, WPTV, News Channel 5.
The St. Lucie County School District sent out this statement reading, "We continue to have a positive working relationship with the Sheriff's Office, and both have the same goal in mind of keeping students and staff safe."
I mean, I could understand, like, I wouldn't want kids or parents to feel, I don't know, alienated. I didn't even, honestly, I mean, what school is doing that? Are they doing it here in Florida? I don't know that to be a part of any curriculum Well, my daughter's in VPK, so I don't know. Maybe that's the new stuff now. First, second, third grade. I don't know the schools that are doing that. Or is that a thing? Is that an issue? Like they're actually doing instructional, like, I don't know. Let me pull up this Polk County stuff. Personally, me at this age, yeah, I'm not interested in my daughter, you know, they're talking about sexuality and all that stuff at this age. She's 5. But it wasn't even a concern of mine. Like, I didn't think they were having classes on that, you know, in VPK. Bruh. But I find out. Nah, it's just right now, it's all just learning stuff. It's just, let me pull up the Facebook page for this. The basic fundamentals, right? Polk County. Polk County Sheriff's Office. Let's see this big human trafficking ring bust. This guy has an amazing page too. He's really blown up. Sheriff Grady Judd. All right, here it is.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being with me today. I am joined by our colleagues who are going to gather around and be a part of our press release this morning. Let me introduce you to Chief David Brandon from the Winter Haven Police Department, Jim Alinsky from the Haines City Police Department, Chief Velasquez from the Lake Wells Police Department, Chief Andy Ray from the Auburndale Police Department. We have Dr. Mary Ann Thomas once again from One More Child. We have Misty LaPerriere from Sail of Freedom. We also were joined by DCF, who worked with us on this operation, and Heartland for Children. And it all started with Operation March Sadness 2.
I've heard, homeschooling, especially this day and age, they give you some trouble with that, don't they? I don't know if there's like certain requirements. That's kind of, I hear a lot of people that do it say that's the best way to go. Yeah.
2022, on the 8th of March. Now, we don't think basketball should be able to dominate March by itself, so we have our own bracket, but instead of brackets of winners, we have brackets of losers. And we're going to go over and tell you some of the absolute, not only sadness, but craziness that we saw during this last operation. But I am eternally grateful for our police chiefs, because we wouldn't be able to do this unless we all work together. And my fantastic detectives that work so very hard, and certainly our counselors, because they join us in every operation. They work a lot of hours so that they can be there the instant that we identify and help us identify the victims of these human operations. It's unbelievable, the victims we get with our human trafficking operations. And we identified one this time that I'll talk about without her name. Many times it takes follow-up investigation by this wonderful team of counselors in order to get there. But let's start with Mr. Finley. Mr. Finley is not involved in this from a human trafficking / prostitution operation, but we hit a grand slam in that we also found child sex predators. And he's the first child sex predator that we identified. He's 39 years of age. He's a handyman. He's from Mulberry. And he traveled to our undercover location thinking he was going to engage a very young child for sex. Newsflash, it wasn't a very young child, it was a group of detectives. He's been charged as a result for traveling, for resisting arrest. That's right, he ran from us. He didn't want to go to jail. He had meth. He was also charged with attempted lewd battery and transmission of some very ugly stuff that he thought was going to a 13-year-old child. So it would have been a grand slam week for all of our resources and efforts if we'd have just gotten Timothy Finley, who thought he was traveling to meet a child. It's pretty nervy if you think about it. He was showing up at the child's residence when he thought mom and dad weren't there. But
reminds me a little bit of Chris Hansen. I just kind of, flashback. I remember Chris Hansen too. One of the last things that he did, the guy killed himself. And you guys ever used to watch that? There was one episode where I think I forgot what the guy did for a career, but they pulled up to the house or something, and they're knocking on the door or something, and I don't know if he opened or they were waiting or they were standing there, and all of a sudden you just hear one gunshot. The guy kills himself. I think that's kind of what ended the show.
But he wasn't alone. Then there's Shannon Johnson. He's 41. He's from Orlando. It's interesting, the Orlando stations aren't here today. They should be, because they got a lot of these problems over in Orlando, and the community over there needs to be made aware of it. He thought he was communicating with a 13-year-old child. He wanted to be her daddy. He wanted to have different kinds of sex with what he thought was a 13-year-old child. He works at a warehouse. He was charged with traveling, attempted lewd battery, transmission of photos of himself, nude photos, you know what I mean? And he didn't have any children himself, but he wanted to play this game of daddy. That's right. He has a criminal history. And when we arrested him, he said,
"Yeah,
you got me. You're right. We got him." So if we'd arrested 2 child predators, that would have been a grand slam week.
Yeah, looks like a lot of people there on the list.
But we got another one. This guy's from Gainesville. He's employed in construction. He did not travel, but he communicated with what he thought was a 14-year-old child online and said, "Don't tell the cops." And then he sent videos and stills of himself doing things an adult should never do in the presence of a child, or publicly, or recorded for public consumption. Nasty stuff. Rose here, Jody Rose, is a nasty, nasty guy. He's 36 years old. So we traveled to Gainesville to get him. Or we had the Alachua Sheriff's Office travel for us to get him.
No way.
When we arrested him, he said, "It's just a misunderstanding." Maybe a misunderstanding on his part. It's not a misunderstanding on our part. He was sending nasty videos and photographs to children. No criminal history up until now, but now he's...
So they caught a TV judge? That's coming up? Oh, Lord.
Got 11 felony charges, so he made up for lost time with his arrest. That would have been a grand slam if we'd only gotten 3. Then there's Xavier Jackson. He's 27. He thought he was chatting with a 14-year-old. And he sent photos of himself doing things that's totally inappropriate. He did not travel. So once again, the Orange County Sheriff's Office assisted us, and because he's from Orlando, and traveled to arrest him, where he was charged with 3 counts of harmful material and 1 count of unlawful communication. Oh, did I mention that he just happens to be a lifeguard at the Polynesian Resort for Disney? You think there's a few children around there? That's right. I didn't stutter. He was a lifeguard.
Is the CEO going to apologize for this?
At the Polynesian Resort for Disney, and was bragging about that. So we were able to arrest 4 predators in this operation. This is huge.
Damn, Disney's like a hive. It's a place where they gather or something, or maybe it's just the place that people that like kids. Well, let me go get employed at a place that has a lot of kids.
4 arrests of this magnitude in a week is simply remarkable. But let's move on. These guys weren't predators, but they all have something in common.
I remember there was a previous Disney catch too. I don't know how many people it was. I thought they got a couple of Disney people previously, right? This one was 4. I thought they've done another one before where they caught more Disney people.
With the last arrest, they work for Disney.
Oh, Lord.
So you have Wilkeson Fidel. He's 24. He lives in Orlando. He thought he was coming for sex. He's been a Disney employee for 4 years, and he works at the Cosmic Restaurant in Tomorrowland. Except now he is in the county jail if he hasn't made bond yet. And then there's Shahab Malav. He's 27. He's a software developer for Disney. He's worried because he's here on a work visa from India. He thought he was coming to have sex with 2 ladies. Surprise. Once again, undercover detectives. Then there's Ralph Leese. He's 45.
Kiki said, I did a project on human trafficking in college, and Disney was one of the main places. Wow.
He lives in Winter Garden. He's an IT employee for Disney. He's been there about 4 years, and he's married. So I'm sure Disney's not pleased. I bet his wife's not pleased, but we're pleased that we arrested him. I'm going to tell you about a trafficker. It's not often we arrest traffickers at the undercover site, but we did. And normally when we arrest traffickers at the undercover site, it's a male. Let me introduce you to Tiffany Nash. She was the trafficker of a young lady. Tiffany's 32 years of age. Why she's not been busy committing crime, because she has 61 previous criminal charges, 41 of them felonies and 20 as misdemeanors.
How do you have that many?
She's the manager of the Kentucky Fried Chicken in Orlando. Now, I just don't believe I'd want any finger-licking good chicken that she touched. Just saying. What she does is she would set up the deal. And then she would force this young lady, this victim, to come along. This deal was for $300. If this lady were lucky, she would get $20. So the lady, the victim, Ubered over, followed by Tiffany to make sure that the deal went right, and Tiffany got her money.
So she take the whole thing and gave $20? What's she saying?
As soon as we took the victim down, ostensibly for an arrest, this wonderful team determined she's a victim. So she's not criminally charged, and she's not up here on this board because she's immediately turned over and treated as a victim, not a criminal suspect in an event. So Tiffany's been charged with human trafficking, deriving proceeds, possession of cocaine, possession of meth, possession of paraphernalia, and guess what? She's not managing the Kentucky Fried Chicken place today. She's in our county jail.
Oh.
And we don't serve finger-licking good chicken there. The victim has been turned over for services. Then we have Daniel Peters, 66 years old. He thought he was coming for a girlfriend experience, kind of a date. He went on an escort site. Oh, can I show you the other picture of Daniel Peters? This is the Honorable Daniel Peters.
No.
Who is a retired judge from Cook County, Illinois, or the Dishonorable Judge Peters from Cook County, Illinois. And when we were doing our follow-up investigation to validate all of this, what did we find out? He also retired from the Cook County Sheriff's Office, according to him.
That's Chicago,
That's
right?
right. He said he was a
Cook County.
special assistant in legal affairs, and he worked, are you ready for this? In the Office of Professional Regulations.
That's Jesse's,
where he was the director.
Wow.
You kidding me, right? No, I'm not kidding you. As my old my old daddy would have said, that's a known fact. He said, quote, I've been on the other side of this. Well, I'd like to ask him today, so which side do you like best? Now that you have been the prosecutor, you've been the judge, you've been at the state attorney's office, and now you're the defendant. So we locked him up in the county jail. He says he lives in Palos Hills, Illinois. He requested an attorney. Well, Judge, you need an attorney. You got problems. He went to the jail in Polk County.
So what exactly did he do? He was talking to somebody online? I didn't even hear it.
Then there's
Did I miss it?
Richard Jackson. He thought he was coming for sex. This guy wouldn't be particularly interesting out of the group. He lives in Orlando, but he worked at a family amusement park called the Fun Spot around children.
Oh yeah,
around a lot of people. So we thought it's worthy for people to know if you go to the Fun Spot, if they.
Oh, so it was an adult, right? Girlfriend experience. Damn, that's tough, man. I mean, that's tough. I mean, he's just trying to have a good time. Damn.
Still employ him. You need to know that he will do illegal things for money.
But I guess they can say that contributes to trafficking and all that stuff. He was talking to young kids. People were saying adult. He was looking for adult girlfriend experience. It wasn't minor, was it?
And then there's Nelson Cruz. You know, we got this thing going with with food restaurants. He is a manager of a restaurant as well, Cracker Barrel in Altamont Springs. He's married. He's worried as well because he's here on a work visa from Honduras. He thought he was coming to have sex.
Yeah, it says here, just real quick, back on the judge, because I pulled up the article. It says here he was soliciting a prostitute. It doesn't say minor. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judge said Daniel Peters, 66, told detectives that he used to be a judge in Cook County, 4th Sub-Circuit Court, and a special assistant for legal affairs in the Office of Professional Regulations at the Cook County Sheriff's Office in Illinois. He was charged with soliciting a prostitute and requested a lawyer. And I heard him, like you guys said in the chat, one of the girlfriend experience. That usually means like, well, you know, I don't know, like the girlfriend experience.
Now, he lives in our county, but obviously he hasn't got the message yet. You know why he said he did this? Are you ready for this? He had an argument with his wife. So he decided that I'll just go have an event with a prostitute. I bet his wife's not happy. I'm just guessing. He's arrested. And we don't serve Cracker Barrel at the jail, so he won't have to worry about seeing delicious food, only nutritious food. And then there's James Compton. He's 42. He's a graphic designer. He wanted to have...
Yeah, not all the charges are minors, from what I'm reading. Not all of them are. I'm trying to get the exact number. I'll get you the number in a second.
All kinds of sex. And he wouldn't be particularly interested.
It's a human trafficking sting with more than 100 arrested, and some of them were like for underage.
Except for the fact his 17-year-old son was refereeing a youth soccer game across the street. Hey, I guess he just got tired, right? Let's see. My son's refereeing this youth soccer tournament. I don't have anything to do. I think I'll go across the street and have sex with a prostitute. There's you, an all-American dad. So he has a criminal history back in 1998 for lewd battery. So the night's wrapping down. We have arrested this child predator who resists us and runs, so we have to tase him. And as is our protocol, when you tase someone, you have an ambulance run an EKG strip to make sure everything's all right. So we have to call an ambulance to the scene, and a fire truck shows up. We've got another undercover deal, cooking. So our undercover people try to blow off the deal. Hey, we'll do it tomorrow. Here's the deal. There was a guy by the name of Seth Phillips and Christina Garrett coming from Bradenton. Christina is Seth's girlfriend. Follow this now. Coming from Bradenton, where they're to be paid $1,000 to have sex with two undercover people. They think this is going to be $1,000 in their pocket. They're going to have sex. Going to be a great evening. However, Seth left his wife at home while he shows up with his girlfriend. So he gets in the area. We have the guy resist. Now we got to have the fire trucks there and the ambulance and the EKG strip. So we text, our undercovers text and say, hey, the cops are here. Told them the truth. Ambulance is here, fire trucks here. We'll do it tomorrow night. Seth, who's a former Marine and a Lyft driver, is not happy. So here's what he says. I'm mad. I've come all the way over here for $1,000, and now you're blowing me off. You are going to pay me $100 for the ball of meth. You are going to pay me $500 for the cancellation. If not, you better have a lot of friends with guns and a chopper. You'll sleep well if you pay knowing that the boogeyman won't come. And then he continued to threaten. And guess what? He showed up. That's right, the ambulance had cleared out, fire trucks had cleared out. We'd shut the operation down for the night. The detectives were in the house when they noticed on the camera, a car pulls up. This guy gets out of the car along with Christina. He does not walk to the house. He sprints to the house, gun in hand.
Wow.
You see where this is going. So our detectives, who are simply the very best, they say to themselves, "Self, we think we ought to have a gun, since this guy has just arrived gun in hand." We open the door with 4 of our guys with guns, and he's got a gun above his head.
Wow.
He's coming down.
How's he alive?
With his gun. Christina saves his life by jumping in front of him. He puts the gun in his waistband, so we don't know if he's bringing it down to point it at us, or he's counting 4 guns and he brings it down to put. It is that close to a shooting.
Wow, he didn't get shot?
Microseconds. We take him into custody. He's charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm.
Thanks, Janet.
Attempted robbery, possession of meth, extortion by threat. Christina's charged with prostitution and possession of heroin. And he made the statement during the interview. He became totally cooperative at this point and said, "You would have been right to shoot me." Well, I appreciate his understanding of the gravity of the situation. But because our detectives did exactly what was right, and because Christina got in the way, and she gets credit as well for him being alive today, because this was a very tough situation. I'm going to turn the podium over real quickly to first Chief Andy Ray, a dear friend of mine and a professional, consummate professional law enforcement executive, as are my other friends and colleagues here today, for a few comments. Chief.
Thanks, Sharon. Good morning. Just like to point out the hard work of the detectives from the Sheriff's Office and from our agencies that assisted them as well. I know how much work goes into this. It's a ton of work, and so great job for everybody that was here and working on the case. I also like to point out, like the sheriff did, that we don't just do it as a law enforcement agency. We also have other agencies that are in the business of helping children and victims in cases like this. So Sail of Freedom, One More Child, the Department of Children and Families, Heartland for Children. Everybody is involved in this because it's important, and because the victims of human trafficking and the sex business deserve our help and need our help. So we're glad to be a part of it. We're glad to look out for the interests of kids and of the victims in these cases. And we're happy to be a part of taking people off the street that are dangerous to your kids in the community. So thanks for the opportunity, Sheriff, to work with you. And it's always a pleasure.
Good morning. Same as Chief Ray, we do appreciate the Sheriff always asking us to come over and participate in these events. It's not hard for us to find volunteers, even though it's a lot of hard work and hours, but we always have plenty of detectives, just like the detectives from all the other agencies. They're great people. They come out here to work hard. And as you can see, this is not one city that is an issue at, it's across the county and people coming into our county. So we have to keep this up and make sure we protect these victims. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. So as the sheriff said, I believe we got 4 actual predators this time, and no matter how long these events take place, I don't know how long it's going to take before people understand that Polk County is not going to tolerate it. So just one predator would have been worth the event. So I just want to thank the sheriff. He's always asking for additional help, and I want to thank him. Thank you for having us there, and we will continue to do these events. I'm confident of that. So thank you.
Did back year after year.
Also, the victim, and for the victim,
operations. So
Ashley Barnett. I also want to thank Wesley and Ashley Barnett, who are philanthropists in the community. They have a care and a concern for these victims of human trafficking. They agreed to accompany me on Friday night and for the victims in our community, and I appreciate you both being there so very, very much. Are there any questions?
Sheriff, without giving away too many details on how the sting operations work, just to clarify, do your detectives like infiltrate websites instead of dates, or?
All of the above. Social media sites, dating sites, escort sites. We go into all the various sites, and we're joined by my colleagues, by the detectives from the police department, so we can cover dozens of locations in order to effectively communicate with not only the predators, that was an additional bonus this time, not only the Johns, but also the victims and the potential victims. We know some of these ladies we arrested for prostitution denied being victims. However, there will be follow-up by this wonderful team of folks, because we know some of them are victims that would not admit to being a victim. So it was a wonderful day when we found one that admitted to being a victim, because that's not normal. Normally they have to work with these folks for weeks and months before they'll agree for services, but this one agreed to services immediately. So we go looking where they are.
You guys think legalizing this would take away some of the problem? Should it be legal? Do have like their own businesses and stuff, and
where they're out scouring the web pages themselves for customers or victims. And these Johns, there's a significant fine for them to pay, because you think about it, without them, these victims wouldn't be there.
Is there any difference in charges when people are agreeing to meet with undercover investigators that are posing as children versus actual children?
Well, certainly the charges would be enhanced if they were to have met with a child. But if it weren't for our detectives and there was a child being groomed, then they would have actually met and sexually abused a child. And sometimes we know those children end up dead.
All right, so that was that. That was pretty good. Looking at this image, they caught a lot of people. I mean, so the ones that I had to do with children, where they get people here in the middle, and it was the Disney people, I guess, in charge of child trafficking. There was people that were prostituting, and then majority is seeking prostitution. A lot of people caught up in this. Kind of interesting. I hear people talking about too, there's this trial going on right now, or sentencing right now. Is that, I don't even know that. Chandler Halderson. Is that something worth watching? I'll probably have to get off now, but I'd have to start a new stream. But is that something worth watching? I don't even know that. Chandler, what does the guy do? Did I get a call? Chandler Halderson. Man who killed parents. Oh. What's going on with Chandler? Bro, making this legal would be worse. Heck no. That's the dude who chopped his parents. Oh, Lord. Murdered and dismembered his parents? I'm about to email you something. Okay, I'll check it out. His sentencing is going on. I could end this and throw that up. I'd have to get a little bit of backstory, but unless somebody wants to call in and explain it after. Is it interesting? I don't really see too much traction from what I'm looking online. Let me see, is it already happening?
I think there may be some new folks here from the media regarding the filming of people in the gallery here today.
Sentencing hearing.
Attorney Vera.
Could we get one more copy, please?
All right, yeah, let's do a poll. That's a good idea, Jazz. We'll do a poll. You guys let me know. You want to watch the sentencing, or you're like, F that. It's St. Patty's Day. We ain't watching no. Oh, wait, I just screwed up. What did I do? Okay. Chandler. What the hell's going on? My chat just disappeared. Pop out. Oh, I did it. I screwed up the poll. Don't do that. Okay. I guess you guys wanted to, but let me see. That was only 20 votes. Chandler. Sentencing? Yes, no. He killed his parents and cut him up. I think I did it right now. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah. Nothing happened to Mel. All good when you see it. When you see it in live every day is another issue. The trial was hilarious. Over 100 pieces of evidence. The defense said no to almost every state witness for cross. Damn. That's so true. Didn't I say that? Damn. 92% said yes. Okay. The trial. Okay. What's Lauren? Trial is over. Chandler case. He's refusing to attend sentencing, but the judge is forcing him. Damn. Just yank his ass in there. Drag him in there. Can't they do that? You don't want to face the sentencing? Oh, let me real quick too. So you guys, it looks like you guys want to do it. I can start the stream up over again. Let me just say a quick thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate the stars. Thank you, Brandy, for the members chat. All fixed. Anyone know anything about how to get records on a closed case? I would think Freedom of Information Act. Brandy, call me because I know somebody that's good at research that I've been working with, kind of. I mean, we just started talking. I don't know, but reach out to me if you're still watching. I can put you in contact with her. Maybe she can guide you. Simply Stranger, thank you for the membership. I bounced over to FB, like, and share. Thank you. I don't know if I'm going to do Facebook streaming. I did another test again. What I noticed, I feel conspiratorial about this, but I feel like anytime I do a dual stream, it's like YouTube detects it and Facebook, and they don't like each other. And it's like, nah, we're not going to give you the views. It seems like there's less views every time I do a dual stream, but there's not much going on Facebook. Thank you for the likes on Facebook. Brandy, thank you for the stars. Appreciate it. Gracias. Charisma, thank you for the super chat. Denise, love his stories you find. I can't believe Cody's still not found. I know, that's insane. Thank you for your hard work. Legacy posted something today on Twitter with regards to that, stating that the Water Foundation, something Water Foundation, they were checking some abandoned house and they found a scent of decomposition. I was thinking of looking into it. Sounds kind of interesting. Amanda, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you, Mel. I'd ask for my kids to sit out during something like that at school. Love you, Mel. Love you too. And yeah, I would, me personally, and that's one of like the very few things. There's only like 2 or 3 things me and my daughter's mother agree on. That's one of them. I'm good. Just go have fun, go play, go learn. Redder Vision, thank you for the membership. Richely, thank you for liking the stream. Simply Stranger, thank you for the super chat. You know we would keep you regardless of the topic, Mel. Thanks. I appreciate that. And I've gotten some support for the video that I did the other day where I was talking about the 1 a.m. call. I've even had PayPals over that. All right, so I guess I'm going to launch it and we'll see what happens. On my way. If anything, I just delete it or whatever. And if somebody wants to call in on the next stream and just give a little bit of backup, I don't know, is it backup? Or backstory. Give a little bit of backstory to that. We could do that. Or I could just look it up and search it myself. Mel, are you off today? This is me. This is my job, man. This is my job. Or do you mean off like how I've been mentioning lately? I've been off for a while. Like, I've been feeling kind of weird. I've been dealing with shit. I went to the doctor. I got full blood work. And I found out I was deficient in some things like B12, vitamin D, and a couple other things. So I'm going to start supplementing that. And I'm thinking maybe that's why I've been feeling like just up and down, dragging, tired, no motivation, all this kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I recommend anybody, if you're feeling any kind of way or whatever, go get your blood work, go get a full panel. There's a lot you can tell if you get the full blood work about what's going on in your body. So, but yeah, I'm going to end this and give me like a couple of minutes and I'll just start it up and we'll see what happens.